Hi, Miss B. You enjoying the sunshine, sweetheart?
Say something. What is this? These are really close together. Was that you? Looking for chickens, maybe?
No, that'll be.
But they're so close together.
In case you're curious if she enjoys the snow. You enjoying that, Miss B?
Oh my, they did clean us out, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Nothing ever seems to come easy. But with this nice black metal roof on our shed, all the snow and ice melted off yesterday, which created a nice jam in front of the door. So, found my pickaxe. So I'm going to bust this ice up just so I can get into the shed here.
This was us trying to get out of our house a couple days ago.
Well, this morning has definitely turned out to be quite interesting. Thankfully, we still have water. So what I'm having to do right now is fill up my measuring cup with hot water. Well, yesterday, it has blockaded the door here so that I can't open it with an ice jam. So I'm having to utilize this doggy door that we have. Thankfully, we have it. And run my hot water out here to pour on this ice jam. Been doing this for about 10 or 15 minutes now. And I'm getting closer. I can see daily. I was able to melt through, and I'm getting dripped on right here already. I was able to melt through this pile of icicle mess here that's been dripping down off the roof. But it had blockaded the door. So we will definitely be getting this roof cleaned off today. We're supposed to get above freezing. And we're going to get this mess under control. Isn't that right, Miss B? You probably thought I was crazy, didn't you?
Except for with hot water. A little bit more. Yay! Get him, B. Get him, baby. Silly girl. She sure loves her daddy.
Well, these poor birds are hungry, the wild birds. We've got a feeder that we've had over here that squirrels got into and ate all the feed out of it, so it just seemed like a fair day to get outside and do something. It's still in the 20s here, still covered in snow, but that's fine. We're almost out of wild bird seed. Mama's over here filling up this little house. I think we're going to utilize this cedar tree right here and hang this birdhouse over here close to where they eat the leftover chicken feed. So she'll hand me that piece of wire I'm going to use. It's actually a squirrel-proof feeder. can't stand on something and get to it. Didn't really have a rope or anything hanging around to hang it off of, so use what you got. Figure out how long it's going to be where we want it to hang. Probably up in this neighborhood here somewhere. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sure. Hey. Now maybe the squirrels won't attack it.
They'll try.
Get another bag.
Yeah, we'll have to get them a little bit more feed next time we. But that's actually a squirrel-proof feeder. Anything tries to get on it here that's too heavy, it'll close off the food supply. So on a small light bird, when they land here, they can peck and eat, and it's got an adjustment on it here where you can change the weight. I think we picked those up at Tractor Supply
A couple years ago, they were
3 or 4 years ago.
So they've really
held up well. They were on the porch of the old cabin for a long time. We snatched them up when we got back down here. But with it off of the porch of the cabin there, we snatched them and we got them brought down here. Reuse, repurpose. I'm fixing to have to come out of some of this gear. It's getting warm.
standing directly in the sun. It's pretty warm.
I wasn't doing much. I still got my PJ pants on. I wasn't planning on doing much, but that's all right. They're warm. So with the spare time that we've had, you guys know that we're working on fixing to put together the rabbit hutch right over here. And my research, I kept digging and digging and digging and researching, and I've been watching different YouTube videos, and we've come to the conclusion that we are going to raise silver fox rabbits.
Yes, silver fox.
So with their heat tolerance abilities, their maternal instincts, everything that I'm researching. Large litters, everything is really good. They're a little bit more of a rare breed. So they were a little bit harder to find and lock down and get a hold of. We did quite a bit of looking this morning, and we locked down a trio not too far from here, just under 2 hours away from here, really close to Bobblehead Homestead is where we'll be acquiring these rabbits. We are 5 to 6 weeks out on the ones that we will be getting from him.
Which is completely fine.
Which is completely fine. That's going to get us out of these freezing temperatures and get us into the beginnings of spring. That's going to give me plenty of time to get this house built. But now I've got a deadline I got to work on. So right now my priority number one is to take care of this storm cellar and get it finished. We've got some 50s and 60s coming in the first part of next week. So I should be able to jump back on and lay the blocks on that as I need and get that concrete ceiling poured over there and get that done and out of the way. I've got to jump on the rabbit hutch after that. Is that priority number two?
I think so.
Once I get that finished, because I've got the door to build and some other stuff that'll go along with that.
While we're waiting for lumber prices to come down.
Stock market on lumber actually hit an all-time high yesterday, and it got over $1,000. If anybody watches lumber on the stock market, which I usually don't, but I have been here lately, and it's astronomical. It is down this morning about $12
But our main priority is our house, of course. But with lumber prices the way they are right now,
we can't.
we're kind of just.
We just can't.
I mean, reality, we just don't want to pay those prices. So we'll suffer a couple more months, and hopefully we don't have to, resort to that in the end because prices don't come down. But
if we
right
have
now,
to, we will.
Yeah.
But
right now, we've got other things we can work on. Gardening. He's got plants going, or seeds going, and so
we've got a bunch of tomatoes that have come up inside. I've got I don't know what all. I've got several things that's come up, and we're doing good inside with those, even with these freezing temps and a
all
travel
those
trailer.
old seeds are actually doing well.
I planted a whole bunch of seeds. I don't even think I've really got into that with y'all. A friend of mine passed on to me a whole bunch of seeds, and they are this year 5 and 6 years old, and I'm getting some pretty good germination out of them. I gave Papa Pepper quite a few of those seeds and blessed him with those. Bobblehead Homestead has a handful of those seeds. There was so many of them, there was no way I could utilize all of them, so I've been sharing as best I can.
The funny thing is some of them are things we don't even know, so we're like, what's
yeah,
that?
I'm having to look them up on the internet. I'm going, what is this? And,
oh, okay, well, that looks pretty. Or
he joined some type of crisis preparation website type situation where they were sending out seeds monthly or weekly or whatever, and he was part of that group for a couple of years, and he just kept compounding all these seeds, and then he's like, what am I going to do with all these? And he handed them off to us, and so we were able to pass those along. But I'm really amazed that they've been in the dry, they've been in the dark, so hopefully the germination rate's still pretty good on them. I've got some that have not come up, so it's going to be a big wait and see on that.
Yep.
But for all the things that we don't eat, a lot of the greens and stuff that we'll be able to try for the first time, that's going to be great. But anything that we don't personally eat, these chickens, I'm sure, will be more than happy to utilize them. We've got this area right here by the chicken coop that we plan on tilling up just a little bit. And I can plant stuff right here by the chickens. They can eat it. The rabbits can eat it. It's just going to, we'll have the 7-foot tall fence that we're planning on putting up around our garden to keep the chickens out since they're free range, because if I don't, I won't have anything in my garden. So we're going to try some of that cheap, they call it deer netting. I'm going to call it chicken netting because I don't think it would keep a deer out if they really wanted to get in, but that's what Miss B's for. And Miss B is great about keeping the deer away. We don't have any issues with that, because
before we brought her out here, we seen
had
them
deer everywhere
often, and now
they kind of steer away from the yard, because we had the little feeder we put up by the creek down here to kind of help draw them in come season. It's always nice to have them in the backyard. It's a quick trip to the freezer, but Miss B makes sure. I don't even know where she went.
She's off playing somewhere. She was chasing something out that way earlier.
So we've got quite the patch of wild birds coming in, and we just wanted to get this feeder up. I got a little bit of footage I'm going to show you right here of the cardinals and everybody that was coming in. I was feeding them on a table over here yesterday, so you can check that out right now. that was quite the crazy thing of birds. I mean, it's nuts how many cardinals there are. And I had to do some research. I didn't know a lot about them, but the males are the dark, bright red, and the females actually have more of the gray tint to them and the gray hues. And I believe those little guys are sparrows. I'm not positive. You can tell me if you know. But we've got such an abundance of birds out here, and they take care of the remnants of the chicken feed that the chickens don't get to and don't eat. So we just wanted to make sure they had something to eat right now. It's snow covered, and I know it's hard for them to eat. So every little bit we can help out and supply.
Yeah. So as we've been doing our research on the rabbits, we're just looking at different ways and different options of how to build our cages, and what's best for heat, what's best for cold, what's best for their feet, what's best for just different things. And so there's so many people out there that are so much more knowledgeable, and so we've researched a couple new channels that we actually followed from Art and Bree's recent video of processing hogs or something. There was a couple channels on there, and they're actually located here in Arkansas, and so we've kind of been going back and watching their channels, and they've got a lot of knowledge on rabbits.
We're trying our best to learn from everybody else's mistakes.
And so if you have any suggestions or just knowledge that you could pass on to us, please comment, share it to us. We want to take everything into consideration that we can before we do the build.
Right now my plan is hardware cloth, pretty much for the bottom and the sides. I've seen some folks recommending going to a larger size hole in the wire on the bottom, and that's fine as according to some for their bucks, but not for the does, because once you get kits, you've got the littler feet in there once they do get out of the nesting box that can get into the bigger holes. So there's a lot of pros and cons on different things and different
feeding systems. What's worked best?
The coated wire versus the uncoated wire, and we've got our watering systems from our previous rabbits that we had years ago that we'll probably try to reutilize. Some buckets with the self-watering nipples, gravity-fed nipples that'll come down, and which is great spring and summer and all that, but wintertime, that's a whole different ball game. And we're hoping to not worry about that this winter. Like I said, it's going to be 5 to 6 weeks before we're acquiring these rabbits. So
we'll have it hopefully 9 to 10 months that we can establish this and have, some...
before we go into winter.
Yeah, before we go into winter, we'll have some, this worked, this didn't work, let's change this a little bit, let's do this. And, hopefully a little bit more knowledge, so we don't have any loss, because, that's something you have on a homestead, but,
A homestead?
On a homestead, but, yeah, so the less you have, the better.
Yep. We're just trying to learn from everybody else's mistakes.
Yep.
Knowledge comes with.
It's a great community out there that you can definitely get your information from and
tap into it and utilize it.
Yep.
Bird feeder, other than the fact that they're all over here on the ground waiting for us to get away from their bird feeder. I shoveled out a little racetrack here for the chickens, hoping I can get this snow melted down to give them a little bit of room to get out and run.
But they've all went back inside.
They're all inside.
I think they're back upstairs. There's a few downstairs. But...
I let them out yesterday, and they all made it out to the first tree outside of their door, and they stopped and huddled right there. So I know they're ready to get out. They are absolutely tired of being cooped up. Pun intended.
So are we.
Yes, we had to get outside. We're going to make a Dollar General run today, I think, because it's our closest store, just to get out of the house. And I know our local Walmart, which is 30 minutes away, is going to be hammered hard on the groceries.
If trucks have even been able to get to it.
As soon as these roads clear up, it's going to get hammered. So
a little ways off the main.
Throw a little business on our local guys today, and then we'll go get the remainder, hopefully this weekend.
I've been off work all week, and I tell you, this has made me go back to the beginning of COVID lockdown. I'm having flashbacks.
And for some of those folks that live in states that are still on COVID lockdown, I'm sorry. We've kind of been back to normal for quite a while. I'm not going to get into all that.
I'm ready to get back to work anyways. My consumer, I miss him. Ready to get back to him and get my days back to normal. Get back to...
Is there a normal?
Well, what's become normal for me anyways, when you spend 11 and a half hours a day with somebody and then all of a sudden you've gone, what, a week now? Because Saturday, Sunday, yeah. So, yeah, I'm ready to get back into the swing of things and ready for this snow to go away so, the pretty weather will come in and he and I can get out and just enjoy doing fun stuff like we do every day. Sometimes my consumer and I will come out and hang out with Kevin and just kind of see what...
Grilled chicken or...
If we did, we grilled chicken for him one day. He wanted a manly meal, so we made him barbecued chicken and according to him, it had too much seasoning on it.
I love flavor. I was not informed that he did not love flavor like I do. He was looking for a manly meal, so that's what I cooked.
Next, I think we're going to do him a big old steak. But we'll leave this.
It's almost steak season. We got a local meat market where we love to get our steaks from, and it's almost that time of year to stock the freezer up on those.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it. Ready for spring. Get some flowers going. Get some gardens going.
We've got some planted. I got some more I need to plant.
So,
but not right now. The ground's
Who else
froze.
is ready for spring? Who else is ready to get out and get busy? We get cooped up for so long, and we're ready to just get out. But rabbits are next, guys. I'm excited. We're gonna do this meat rabbit thing this time. We tried it before, and then I think it was right before we were headed to Alaska, which just come out of nowhere, and so we got out of that real quick. But we're gonna try it again. We're gonna see how that works out for us.
We'll try, but
that's all we can do.
Plans for meat rabbits. We got the bird feeder up and rocking, and coming into the weekend. What is today? I don't ever know what today is.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday. We should have some decent melt today. I think it's supposed to get up to like 43 today. So
feels pretty good out here right now. It was like 20-ish, 20, almost 30s. But the sun's out, so
yeah.
It looks.
But we're hiding in the shade over here, so we're kind of silly like that.
It feels good though, but who knows? We're supposed to get our grandbaby this weekend, but I don't think we're going to, just for the simple fact that
roads probably aren't going to be clear.
Roads are bad
and going to get out.
Cold.
Because he lives nearly an hour away, so it's kind of tough to do
and
that.
And he's a little over a month maybe. So yeah, I think we'll hold off maybe one more week before we get to snuggle with him for the weekend or overnight or whatever. But yeah, so
that's all we got on this one, guys, and
it was good to see you guys.
Yeah, I figured I better drag her along. I don't hardly ever get to see her myself, but after being cooped up all week, I think she's ready to go back to work just to get away from me.
That may be true, honestly.
You get in the habits of being together, we're okay, but when you get in the habits of not being together all week, that's...
Like I said, I get up and I leave the house by 6:30 in the morning, so I'm not a morning person, so I'm going to get up and get dressed, do what I got to do, and I'm out of the house. So we don't spend any time together in the morning, and then in the afternoon I get home at 7-ish, and it's eat dinner and Bible study, and then we go to bed. And so we don't get to see each other much during the day. So being together this whole week has been kind of
exhausting.
No, there's been a few moments. But it's okay. After 26 years, it's okay. So,
almost 26.
So yeah, but
we're rambling.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna head to Dollar General and see if we can get some milk and bread.
I might even put pants on for that.
I hope so. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a blessed day. We'll catch you on the next one.